morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've stopped off, I'm away for the weekend with the guys for the Stirling District Camera Club, but I've stopped off to the Rogie Falls because I've never been here before. So join me and let's see where this wee journey takes us this morning. So I've reached the first viewpoint. It's a beautiful dry morning. Here's hoping this lasts for us for the weekend. So it's pretty steep. That's why I'm out of puff, I think. I didn't go the traditional path because one of my friends had said there was a shorter path if you took the right hand path beside the toilet block, which is closed until April. Right, I can hear water, so hopefully I'm not too far now. If you're coming down here, it is pretty tricky with all these kind of loose rocks and pebbles. I can imagine on a really wet day you'd want to make sure you had boots on anyway. Beautiful wee walk though, right next to the road. Alright, so not there yet, however I found a viewpoint. It's always good to see placards on a wall because you're close. So, oh, there's the falls. Wow, that's stunning. Oh, that's really nice. I think what I might do is take a couple of shots from this area. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of information boards at this area. If I step back, you'll get to see the viewpoint. There's that kind of famous swingy bridge that's probably you can't get a photo from because it's bouncy. It's a suspension bridge. What I'll try and do though is try and get low if I can and see if we can get down to the edge of the river somewhere and see if we can get a shot. Probably my best place is around about this area. Anyway, I'm going to take a couple of shots for here, and if these work out, I'll share them with you now. Right, so I hope those images worked out okay. I was at a very high viewing platform, but I've noticed there's a kind of forest trail down here. So I'm just going to follow it and just see where I end up, because what I can do, if I've got a full frontal shot from a distance to the falls, as you can see are pretty obscured through the trees, I can put a long lens on. Right, I'm going to concentrate on this walk and I'll catch up at the bottom. That's the viewpoint I started up at. I've walked to the right of the viewpoint if you're coming up here. There seems to be a kind of forest path that comes all the way, and I've just found this wee viewpoint. I've got a wee bit of clearance through the trees. There's some straggles of branches, but we can remove them in Photoshop. But what I want to try and do is just get some different views. I'm going to do a landscape, I'm going to do a portrait. I'll zoom in so we get past those branches. And if any of these work out, I'll share these with you. Alright, so if you are coming down here, you've got that wee kind of rock face to climb down, but it allows me to get closer to the water. So I'm going to work my way to the edge of the water just to see what views I can get. And here's hoping we're going to be lucky. Right, I'm at the bottom. I'm just going to save y'all quite a lot of hassle. There's a path. I am not far from the official path, and there looks to be a wee winding path that comes off the big path down, and you can get to these rocks just underneath the bridge. So rather than climb down for the top that I came through this wee mucky path, you are able to come off the main path, so that's much safer. That'll be the way I go back. This is the view that I've got at the moment. I'm just going to walk along the edge of these rocks just to see what views I can get of the falls. Alright, so I've got quite a nice view here. Nice view here of the falls. I'm actually avoiding the bridge, so if I zoom back you'll see the bridge above. I don't want the bridge in the image, so I'm just zooming in. I'm shooting at round about 40mm at the moment, focal range, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you the difference a polarizer makes, and then if I put the polarizer on, because I'm getting some nice blues from the sky on the water, and it's a really nice sheen. So if I put the polarizer on, I've just put the record button on the camera here, switch it to manual, and if I put the polarizer on, I'll just show you the difference that makes. I'll take that image. So if I now take that image, so if I take the image with the polarizer, what I'll do is I'll share the image without the polarizer and the image with the polarizer, and hopefully you can see the difference, because there shouldn't be as much a glare or a sheen on the water. There's no point in putting a polarizer on to see through this water because it's too dark. This is actually called the Blackwater River for a very good reason. But what the polarizer does in this instance, it softens all the reflections and softens all the sheen. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 different shots and I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so what I've done is I've switched to the 70-200 so I can zoom straight in, because this seems to be one of the best locations. I'm going to climb up to the top of that rock and use the wider angle lens in a wee while once I've finished here. But what I'm doing, I'm just showing you as I zoom in, I get a nice close-up profile of the falls. We've got the rocks at the base of the falls, and then we've got, if I zoom out a little bit, we've then got the trees. If I go too far, we'll eventually get the bridge. But I don't want to get the bridge, so I'm trying my best not to get the bridge in the shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a couple of landscape shots. I'll turn the camera around, get some close-up portrait shots, and when I'm finished, I'll share these with you. I am playing about with my f-stop here because the light is coming and going. So I'm trying to maintain my 1/4 of a second shutter speed. There's a couple of shots I took earlier with a 1 second shutter speed, so it'll be a smoother flow, and I wanted these bubbles to be moving in front of me as well, so you've probably seen them. But with this one I'm getting in tighter, and I want to focus in on the water on the falls. Anyway, here's those images. Alright, so I've spotted there's a wee tree growing out the rocks in the middle of the river. So I'm going to use a really long exposure here. Well, when I say really long, about a second or just over. But I'm playing with my f-stop to keep the brightness down. So I've got f18, I've got a 1 second because I want all those bubbles to be smooth. So I took a shot with a wide angle lens before I left that rock. So there's a couple of images there, and any of the images I take here, I'll share them with you. And then we're going to move up to the top to these rocks. Alright, so I've got to the edge of these rocks. I've just been careful. I'm glad it's dry, or it'd been really, really slippy. So the view I've got now is I'm closer up, I'm right at the edge. I've got the full view of the falls. Again, I'm shooting under the bridge, I'm not including the bridge. So what I'll do is I'm going to do 2 or 3 different competitions, because there's some nice water kind of cascades at the foot of the falls. And there's quite a nice amount of water actually in the waterfall. I actually thought it'd be a wee bit less because we haven't had a lot of rain in the last week. But to be fair, it's still really, really pretty. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 images, and then what I'll do is I'm going to walk around and just take footage, because when I go up to the top of that bridge, there's no way I'm going to be able to get decent images because it's a suspension bridge and it'll keep moving. So these are probably going to be my last set of images, and what I'll do is any footage that I capture, I'll share the images with you just now, and then I'll share the footage that I captured as I walk across the bridge. Okay, so I think we're going to end the video here. This is going to be a really short video, just because it's the first time I've been to Rogie Falls. I'm limited for time, because I'm heading up to meet the guys, because we've got a weekend. But I thought I'd drop off, because I've never been to the Rogie Falls before. I can't find any history in the Rogie Falls anywhere, other than it's the Blackwater River that runs through it. So I really hope these images turn out. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.